Okay, hello guys, this is Rai Ahmed video, and in this video I want to like explain the app that I've worked on like in the last 2 days from this video. It's a QR code generator based on and the text that the code of the QR will be generated from are saved inside an Sqlite database. Now the text will be the text of the QR code, the original text of the QR code, before encoding that text into a QR code is just one row in a single table, okay, called data. And if you have that table called data with a number of fields, it will concatenate all those fields into a single string, and it will encode that string into a QR code, and that QR code image file will be saved in a, you will be generating QR code as an image file. So that image file will be saved on the hard disk, or on the disk on your computer. For every line there will be, or for every row in that table, there will be a new QR code image file, okay, or picture file. So I made it to work using only command line. I didn't want to use visual interfaces, okay, because it's better. I think it's not that necessary to go into GUI a lot. Okay, just a simple command. The command will be something like this. Okay, so this is your test DB, this is your test database, and this is the jar file. Okay, there is a library folder inside the jar file. See here, this is target, this is it. So the whole application is this one plus this folder together. Okay, so the program will run. Okay, and just put the path of any database file made in SQLite format. If you like, you can use here. I use Linux, doesn't matter, but you can just simply use SQLite browser, okay, to create an SQLite database. It must be of the format of the name data, the table. It has a name data called there should be a table, single table only, called data, and that in that table just put as many fields as you like and whatever names you like, doesn't matter, okay, but put them all as text, and I'm gonna read them as text only. Okay, I mean the fields, all the fields. So let's say this is it. So I made it as such. Of your properties data, I made just those just to represent each field as a single line, so yeah. So if I use this test file, okay, it will generate them, and it will put the files inside this folder. So this is QR here, QR images, okay, in the same directory where of the database here. Okay, you will be creating this folder, okay, generating this folder, and all the files that you get are in here. Okay, so if I click here, and you can just simply generate whatever encoding you like. Okay, it will be always in 200 by 200. It's not necessary to make it bigger or smaller, because you can even use your image viewer to enlarge it or make it as small. And that's it. So actually, I don't know if I can test it for you. This is show it to you, but it's not easy. I will have to run VLC and two cameras and things like that. So it's not necessary. Just understand this is your QR code, and you'll be scanning it with a barcode reader on your phone. Okay, any barcode reader. Okay, use the one coming from Zing, those guys on Play Store. Let's go to Play Store. This one, okay, this is one I'm using, and it should work. It will read any kind of QR and also the normal barcodes. Yeah, so I'm going to explain the code now. Okay, and what did I do just to get this project done? Of course, I need to search how to add Sqlite to my project, and I need to know how to add the Xing. Okay, and I made a Maven project using Java. Okay, and here they tell you put these lines after you make your project, create your project. Okay, go to the POM file. POM file should be here. See in the project files, this is my QR code generator, so it will go into the POM file. You open the POM file and you add it as dependencies. There's another way if you want, if you know, you can just go to properties and where I run actions. Not really here, no. Yeah, you can just right click here, and this is dependencies and add dependencies, and just square, for example, and you have to be connected also online. So Sqlite, okay, you must be connected online. There's no other way, and it will download them for you. Okay. Now another thing is that just to be able to make my jar file, which is generated here through clicking on clean and build project. Okay, after make the project, and just if you want to run it like I've done here using this line, like this, similar to this, you'll notice it will give you an Sqlite exception. Okay, SQL exception that cannot find the class of the driver that runs that connects to the database file. Okay, so if you run it from the NetBeans here, the editor where I write my Java code, it will run, but my program runs from command line, and there are arguments, and those arguments won't, like if I just run it like this, and this is how NetBeans, as far as I understand, runs it. Okay, so it will give you something like this. Okay, because I made it to write these, so there's no application done. There's no program run, because for example, if I do rm minus r QR images, okay, now there's no QR images. If I just do this, okay, now if you type ls again, just to list the folder, there's no QR images file or folder. You will have to type database, and then you can get the QR images. So the issue is that if you need to, or if you have to test your applications this way, okay, with command line arguments, it will be a little bit harder. So most of the time was spent only on just trying to get the application running independently from NetBeans. Okay, most of the time. Okay, not always. Okay, but eventually I made it. I reached somewhere here in Stack Overflow. Somebody said after searching a lot on Stack Overflow, this one, this title, question title. Okay, I fixed, I copied things from it. Copied this here, this here. Okay, and I made a little bit of change over here just because the folder has to reflect NetBeans. Okay. Just used to do it was like my dir. I made it target just to make it compatible more with NetBeans, and I added a library folder where it will copy from Maven after it downloads all the from the repository for Maven the Sqlite driver. Okay, because inside NetBeans it will work. Okay, but outside NetBeans it won't. Okay, there is something else I don't know. I'm not that good in Maven, but all I can say, I'm good in Java generally, but in Maven I'm not. Okay, so this is what I've done here. Okay, so I added this line, fixed them. Okay, similar to what he has said. Okay, these lines, all these lines within the configuration section. Okay, and the build section, the whole build section. Okay, so I had to add like dependency artifact and fix it, and this is where the output directory of the libraries, they will be copied. Okay, from the Maven directory in your computer after they're downloaded. Okay, and this is also the class path, so this is where your library files will be, and therefore you will get this file and this file. Okay, all these files. Okay, ready to be distributed anytime. Just copy them and send them and run like very much like here without the word target. Okay, just java -jar. Like, see if I change to folder target. Okay, so just running it without the database, it will run anyway. So java -jar. Okay, QR code. Okay, so it will run anyway. So, and also the test, because test file is from outside the folder target. So test. Okay, so if you see, you will get the QR images over here also at the same time. So it will generate the QR images in the same folder where you run your command. Okay. Okay. And also I recommend always that you put your main class with a name called main. Don't like think a lot about it. Just make it main. And there's also the main function here, and it will be directly known for any programmer that this is where the code starts. There's no need to think about it, and I wish that they force it like that. Okay, it's better in Java they do it like this. Okay, yeah, so if you use this as main, this must be main, and that's it. Okay, and then they can have your package named whatever you like. This is what I mean. Okay, and I can you need to make just a simple class, simple application, things like that, just for a little bit of freedom. But anyway, it's good to have it as called as main if you use a package. Okay. What's next now? Just like copying, pasting, things like that, just to get things running. Okay, this code, of course, is a class. This is the code taken from this page, and this is where the real code comes in. Okay, which I Okay, and now this is a private static. I made it as public because it's easier. There's no need to make it close to myself anyway. Okay, there's no need. Okay. And yeah, and because he made it as private because it's part of the class, but mine was not part of the class. I made another class just to call it. Okay, maybe I should have made it without a class even. Just calling it right on, but just for I think just to make it clearer that it's something from outside. Maybe I don't know why I've done it like this. Maybe yeah, I could have put it inside my main class. There's no need to create another class like here. Okay, it's just my own division now. Yeah, but it's good. It's good. Okay, anyway, it's running and it's good. Okay, maybe it's a good thing just to highlight that this is not mine. Okay, it's not my code. I did not write it. Okay. Now here what I've done is just like it starts the code. The program is telling you what the program does. Okay. This is if you have the arguments are not equal to 1. Because I only want to take the database name in front of the as the command line argument. That's all. Okay. So all I wanted is just to take the file name here. Yeah. Or let's go to better solution, better format. This one. Okay. This is the only word that I want to take. This is args0. So I want to test it just to see. Because it's mandatory anyway to get just to get data or get the QR codes. Okay, and I just wrote here telling the user this is how the application should be run. So here just to check if that file that I've mentioned here in the argument, this one, exists. Yeah. So yeah, let's keep it this way. Yeah. And if it does, okay, or if it does not, just it quits the application. That's it. Return directly. Okay. Kill it. Okay. The good thing about return in the main function, okay, just like tell the program bye bye. Let's go. Okay. And here I make a new connection. This is how I prepare the connection string, okay, in Sqlite, and just start calling or make a connection. If any problem happens, it will tell you here, okay, those exceptions. Okay, problem with SQL, writing on the drive. Maybe input and output exception, okay, because they are used here, okay, those write exception and I exception, so that's why I added them. So we continue with connection started, okay. Here just to get the to check whether there is a table called data, okay, inside that database file, and I have two result sets. One for the checkpoint on the table name, whether it's data, and the second one is just to get the data from the table called data, okay. And this is how you read or get all the table names inside your file. And rs.next. Yeah. When I started, it used to use rs.last, but .last did not work. Next works. Okay. And it's just only one file name or one table. That's all you need. Okay. So next is enough. Okay. Just to go from the result set, you move row by row. Okay, row from one row to the next, to the next, to the other. So use rs.next, and then if you get if rs.getRow equals 0, okay. This I found it somewhere in the Stack Overflow also. Let me see, where did I find it? So I had to also go into Maven. This one, see, this is what made me go okay, type forward on. This is why I swapped like this result set dot first with the result set dot next. Okay, and yeah, I've been used trying get the number of columns, check table existence from this file, this question. Okay, this is how I find it. See, he used here as at last, that's why it did not work properly. Okay, so I used the next is better. Okay, and yeah, and then you go here and then just start selecting all the fields from the table data, the table called data, and you execute the select star from data, this query. Okay, and then here I get the column count, and then because I want to get all the fields, okay, on the same line per each row, per each row, and this is I start the raw data as the whole row as an empty string, and this is the column name. I wanted to use columns to output them, column names too, then I just changed my mind. And here this is the row number for like I incremented just to make a new new QR file code. Okay, QR code file. Okay, because this is how is it. Let's here, see, they will look like this: QR underscore 1, QR code 2, QR code 3, like this. So this is why I use the row number with a while loop. Okay, for each row it will create a new file. Otherwise it will overwrite it. Okay, if you use the generate code image from Zing. Okay, that's on the top, the code above here, this one. Yeah, and what else? We have here f equals yeah. So here I'm trying to find to see whether this directory exists or not, the QR images, because I don't want to bloat the program or the folder. Okay, maybe you have a lot of lines in your or rows inside your table, so there will be just a separate folder. You can just copy paste it directly. It doesn't need to clutter and you know, make things messy. Okay, messy, not messy. Okay, and this is to check whether that folder does exist. If not, just make that directory, and then it will start reading the table. Okay, building the data or concatenating the fields of each row inside the raw data, and I will be writing the raw data like here. And this is how you set the image size 200 by 200, okay, which will contain the QR code, and then this is the absolute path of this, okay, and then you add a file separator. By the way, if you're a Java programmer, please use this. Don't use a slash from yourself. Don't add something like this from you, like this or this. This will make it system dependent, okay? It will make it like not compatible with Unix if you use this way. If you use this way, it will be Unix compatible, okay? Otherwise it will be Windows compatible. So just keep it as I'm telling you, as I recommend to you. Just use the separator, and from the separator it will know which is the proper, or what's the proper separator should be used, okay? And yeah, it has to be a PNG file, okay? And with a while loop, it will be, like write for each line a new file, okay? Now if it's taking long, okay, you just can quit it anytime you want. You know, I'm gonna add also gonna add here like a system dot out dot print line because it doesn't tell you whether it's generating or where it has reached, okay? Mean here row number plus also and that's it. So this way you will know where did it reach, okay? So you must like I'm thinking also like deleting the whole content of that directory and start over, because every time you will have to start over, any change it will start over, okay? Anyway, or you delete them by yourself, that's it, okay, it's better, okay? That's it. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this show, and please subscribe, ask your question, put your likes on whatever, okay, and ask your tell your friends about this code, okay? Bye.